Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, we have the incredible Brent filling in for Bob today.
It's me.
Yeah. So no traffic today, so you'll have to figure it out on your
No
own.
traffic, although there was traffic coming here, and I found myself screaming on Commercial Street that when there's no one on Commercial Street, you don't need to go 10 miles an hour.
Right. And also, if no one's on the sidewalk, you don't have to walk in the middle of the road.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you can drive on the sidewalk, which I've also done.
Yeah.
I have a smart car, so you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Right. If you can pick it up and throw it, you can do whatever you want
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. Where's Bob this week? Do you know?
I don't know. We were
Yeah.
trying to figure out, but he's such a busy guy.
Yeah.
He saved the country.
Yeah, working for Julian's here, doing something. Yeah.
I mean, I hope.
Oh, I think it's that week. It's like budget week or something. So they're just like,
Oh, okay.
it's like tech week for
Uh-huh.
them
Got
if
it.
they were putting on a show.
Right. Well, they are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Part of- Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know.
Let's see.
It's in my underwear.
Please
so-
pause for technical difficulties.
Is it on?
No.
It's
Su-
on mute.
yeah, it's on mute.
There
It's
we go.
always good to put it on mute in the beginning with me just to see what kind of mood I'm in.
That's true. Is that better, Sam?
That's so much.
Perfect.
Sam.
Unfortunately, it's a rainy Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
My parents came to town yesterday, and we usually kind of just walk around, stop into shops. We had lunch at Local because they opened this week. One of my favorite restaurants in town. I got my turkey burger, which is my favorite. And then we're like, let's walk and pop into things. We made it as far as Marine Specialties from Local, and we're like, what if we got out of the rain?
Just that.
Yeah, it was one of those just awful days where it's like windy, and so the rain is like sideways coming at your face.
Mhm.
We struggled with umbrellas all day.
It's been a long May of like waiting for people to come and go to restaurants,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden we have this terrible weekend. Which
Yeah.
I don't know though, because when you go on the weather app, sometimes it will say that it's going to rain on one day, but it really is just like it might rain from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. and then it just kind of ruins everyone's idea of the weekend. So I believe that science can be manipulated by your psychology.
Ooh. Or psychology manipulated by science.
That too, actually. Yeah, that's probably a more scientific thing to say.
Yeah, but I think people are going to be here anyway. It's Memorial Day weekend. People look forward to this. They book their hotels. They're non-refundable.
Mm.
You know, they'll be here.
Yeah. Right.
And some like before I moved to Provincetown, some of my favorite weeks that or weekends that I were here were the rainy ones.
Mhm.
I remember I came here for 4th of July when I think it was Hurricane Andrew.
And you did a puzzle.
No, I
Oh.
ran down the street in a Speedo.
Oh,
More of that.
I'll tell the story really quickly because it's so fun.
it's also
Um,
a puzzle.
It was supposed to rain that day, and me and my friend Matt McGuire, we had to go to the end of the ferry dock so I could buy my ferry ticket for the next day. And as we're walking back, it started to torrentially rain, so we ran into a little shop called Body Body.
Mm.
Remember Body
I
Body?
remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were standing underneath the awning, which is pretty much what everyone was doing because it was torrential rain. We were supposed to meet our friends at Monkey Bar, and we're at Body Body. And I turned to Matt and I'm like, what if we both bought Speedos, put all our clothes and stuff into the bag they give us, and then we could just run down Commercial Street? It was the first Speedo I ever bought. We ran down Commercial Street. The streets were lined with people all under the awnings, and just cheering for us as we sprinted down the street in like 2 inches of water.
And this was your first time in Provincetown?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it was so fun. It was 4th of July, but the rain can still be fun.
Got it. Yeah.
You just have to be fun.
Body was below the first, speaking of first, although it wasn't your first, it was below the first guest house that I was fired from.
Oh, the first guest house
So
you were fired from.
Yeah, so I will never forget Body.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I hear you. But that was fun. And then I came screaming into a monkey bar soaking wet and practically naked. And everyone was like, ugh. I was like, well.
Because you had to sell your clothes in order to buy something at Monkey Bar.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry.
That's real.
I'm not supposed to go again. Yeah, sorry.
I agree. Back to you.
I didn't do much this week. I did make it out to a Fascination event last week. All the people I was talking to were having so much fun at all the different workshops, classes. I did make it to their main event, which was Saturday night at Purgatory. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would love to encourage more people to come out to Fascination, because in Fascination in Boston you go, and it's a very fun mixed crowd. And I think P-Town was also really fun, but it was typical P-Town crowd, boys in their 30s.
Do you know anything about the history of that name, like where that comes from?
I don't know the name specifically, but it used to be downstairs at Jacques,
Mm-hmm.
and then it moved to Guilt. It's called something else now, Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
These
it's
are
just
all very powerful one words.
Yeah.
Fascination, legacy.
that's Boston's nightclub scene,
Yeah.
and the names change like every 2 years.
Mhm.
That's why it's tough to remember all
a
the names.
thesaurus of queer spaces.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It was kind of ripping off the Band-Aid of like me leaving the house after 9 o'clock for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I did it. Success.
Good job.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mostly stayed in and watched WNBA games because the WNBA started last Friday.
Can I, before you get into it?
Yeah.
So like everyone has their thing that they love to learn about and keep in touch with. What
Uh-huh.
is your love of the WNBA? Where do you think that comes from?
I mean, I grew up about 20 minutes from the University of Connecticut, and
Mhm.
University of Connecticut and Connecticut in general is kind of like, it is the home base for women's sports.
Mhm.
UConn has such an incredible legacy of women's sports. I remember being like 6 or 7 and Rebecca Lobo leading the team to kind of like their first big championship push.
Mhm.
And she broke her nose. So everyone you'd see people all over town supporting her and at the game by like wearing tape across their nose.
So you were
You guys remember that?
inspired by a broken nose.
Yeah. But
But spiritually, where do you think it comes from?
I mean, I grew up playing sports. My whole family did. My little sister was such an incredible basketball, softball, runner, soccer, and just seeing her and just everything she learned from it, everything that she brought to it was so inspiring. So, yeah.
Okay.
And just like, I like sports because I played sports, but I don't like toxic
I
masculinity
see.
and homophobia.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Like, what is the... Yeah,
So like
that
women's
doesn't
sports,
happen,
it's like
yeah.
sports without all that bullshit. But this week was crazy
Okay.
in women's basketball. There's 2 really big stars, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and people are opinionated about them. And it kind of came to a head this past Friday when Caitlin Clark did a really hard foul on Angel Reese, which happens every game. People
Okay.
do hard fouls.
Okay.
Angel Reese got up because she got pushed to the ground and got in Caitlin Clark's face a little, which also happens every single game.
So there was some toxic masculinity.
Right. Well, the toxic mass, but just, which is, all of that is completely fine. It happens every game, but the discourse around it has a lot to do with, in my opinion, racism. Dave Portnoy was in the front row,
Mhm.
just bringing his energy, which is awful. Yeah, it's just the discourse around it is so crazy.
Mhm.
Caitlin Clark has done so much for the sport and brought a lot of people into women's basketball, but I feel like a lot of her fans use her as a gateway into the sport. They can like put her on a pedestal, this straight white girl from Iowa, put her on a pedestal and be like, oh, I like women in women's sports, but every single other player on the court is a man and
Mm.
is bad at the sport. And it's like the gateway into hate the WNBA, which no one else was there before doing that. She's kind of the only player who, in my opinion, her fans don't like anyone or anything else happening. They're there to see her and to shit talk every single other person on the court.
That's the interesting thing for me about sports. Like, I don't really care who wins or who got the points or whatever, but like, just like the discourse around public figures, I can
Totally,
identify with, and
yeah.
because it does represent our culture in so many ways. So
Yeah. It's also like of the there's 150 players in the league, and a lot of people talk about who's the best, and it's like there's 5 really standout players that are always talked about and thrown around as the best, and it's always been a really fun debate. And now there's Caitlin Clark fans being in there and just being like really shit talking the 4 other best women's basketball players in the world.
It's also a great depository for anger as well. I feel like, because like if you're arguing about people running back and forth between 2 suspended hoops, like at least you're not like, you know, in politics or whatever.
That's very true. That's very true.
We need to get some of the Republicans just to be WNBA reporters.
I mean, it's happening with Caitlin Clark, it seems. But I had a tough week because both my 2 favorite teams lost every single game I played. Yeah. I think Paige Beckers has now lost more games as a Dallas Wings player than she has in her 4 years.
How do you support when they lose? Do you like send them money or
no. Just continue rooting for them and not give up.
Okay.
Yeah. They're gonna gel, they're gonna get it together, and they're gonna come back.
Got it.
But the Indiana Fever did lose to the Atlanta Dream, which is an all-black team, which I loved.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What else did I do What did you do this week?
Well, I'm here to promote my show on May 27th at 7 p.m. at the Red Room, and it's a stand-up comedy show. So, you know, hoping that if you look at my face for an hour today, you'll want to look at it for an hour on Tuesday as well.
Work.
What did I do this week?
Yeah.
I just have been kind of getting into the swing of things at the restaurants and
where are you working this season?
Well, right now I'm working. I am barking, or as they say, brand ambassading at Ocean 193. It was so funny. Like I went in there to like hopefully get like a job, you know, and the owner, Frank, is a very good businessman because he took my request for money and then looked at my skill set, which is just spewing shit in the streets, and said, what if you barked for us? And so he got me as far away from, you know,
actual
service procedures as possible.
Standing in the street.
Yeah. So, but it's been fun actually, because oftentimes I'll do it in drag before the tour in order to like, you know, just what are you doing? What's going on? Where do you, you know, perform or whatever. So it's been, I love making people laugh. So I use it as a tool for that.
Great.
Yeah.
What's the tour like this year?
The tour is now, Anne has been put to rest.
Forever?
I think so.
Wow.
Because, the thing is, like, I started her in Boston, and that was because of like the Freedom Trail tours that they do. And then obviously I kind of like stretched it as far as I could go to bring it here. But eventually I feel as though she's not as approachable if I'm just trying to do stand-up comedy. I feel like the English accent and going into the 1600s. And although Anne was like a very remarkable person for her time period and very liberal for her time period, she was still a colonist. And I, you know, I had been for years been like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, but I want to be approachable to all people. And it's still the same comedy. It's still the same voice, but there's just no British accent.
Gotcha. So different voice.
I mean, it's really just me, but yeah.
Where's the tour starting and ending this year?
I'm starting it in the Bas-Relief Park again because there's like a really great, you know, through line of like, this is where historians say democracy started in America, and now democracy is dying in America. And I just like, it's very political this year. I feel like, you know, P-Town is a bubble, but we are not immune to what's going on. And we get a lot of people from all around the world who come here, and we can either, you know, be rude to them and be angry, or we can like, you know, show them what the world could be. And so, you know, amidst my catty comments towards republicanism, I do try and make people have fun and just kind of, if someone's laughing about something, in my opinion, that means that they agree with you. And I get a lot of bus tour people who are from a certain region of the country that votes a certain way. And if I can get them to laugh, then they in some way agree with what I'm saying.
Or at least have thought about it.
Or are thinking about it in a different way. Yeah. So
that's great.
That's what I'm doing out there.
Great. How can people go on your tour?
You can come to my show on May
There we go,
27th at Red Room because I really actually just want to be on stage. But if you do want to come to the tour, it's all on TripAdvisor, where you can read reviews about Anne Hutchinson because no one has left me a Lucinda Lippold tour review yet.
So go on the tour,
Yeah.
leave a review.
That was a whole process when I switched the name. TripAdvisor was calling me and they're like, okay, so what's your name? And I'm like, okay.
You're like, which one?
Well, I'm Anne, but I'm also Brent, and I changed my name to Lucinda. And people, and they're like, okay, well, if it's a new tour, we have to like get rid of all of your reviews. I'm like, no, actually, no, I just changed my name. Just changed my name.
Right.
It's totally the same tour. So, anyways, it was a whole thing, but we got through. I'm a good scammer.
Right. That we know. And people can go to redroom.club.
Redroom.club, yes.
I remember.
You went and bought tickets there.
I already went.
Thank you so much.
And
No, but
it's
really fun.
Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday night, and it's not like how is that different than the tour? It's not talking about history really. It's just talking about like stories from my life. You know, we're gonna get into
Still politics, though.
my firings, my neighbor calling me a freak for doing drag. We're gonna get into all
In
of it.
Provincetown.
In Provincetown. It was terrible,
Yeah.
and I have to go there every day.
Do you feel safe?
No,
Okay.
it takes pictures of me every time I come home. It's lovely.
Oh, the joys.
The joy of it.
Yeah.
The joy
It's my
of
happy
P-Town.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. That's what's going on with me. Thank you for asking.
That's great.
Yeah.
What else did I do this week? I went to tea last Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm doing this thing where I go to tea in shorts and a t-shirt and then leave when I get too cold
That's smart. That's a
Yeah.
good built-in.
so that I don't end up like out all night,
Mhm.
you know.
Wait, how's your podcast going?
Oh, my podcast is going great.
I've watched some of the clips. It's really
Okay, thank
it's
you.
engaging.
I love that. We have 5 episodes out. If you haven't listened or watched it, you can watch it on YouTube. You can also listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. It is me and Kristen Becker. We're talking about kind of everything. I know you know Kristen. Kristen's actually co-hosting with me next week. She has a super busy weekend this week. She's doing Foxy tonight
Fun.
with Sam.
Yeah.
Mike check.
No, it's just Sam Sewell. It's
Oh.
me.
Not
I'm performing me.
not Big Beautiful Bill.
That's next. Wait, stay tuned for Big Beautiful.
We were
Bill.
talking about Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, and I'm like, that.
my
And Sam was like, that is a drag king name.
That really is.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Big
But
Beautiful Bill. Yeah.
How many votes does it
Oh
have?
my God. Yes. This past week, the third Democratic Congressperson since March passed away in office. Yeah.
I opened the news to like get ready for this show, and then I just like blacked out.
You went, oh,
and I
no,
have 2
no, no,
pieces
no,
of
no.
news.
Hey, let's hear one.
No, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was gonna. Okay, well, one
Okay.
of them was that a basking shark beached itself in Eastham,
Oh no.
and I felt like that was like like the where's the Groundhog Day? It's like Groundhog Day for us, like Memorial Weekend. Like, what will beach itself on Cape Cod this weekend, and that will show us how the season will go. And it's like we're all gonna be dead on the beach, like still hoping for money with all this inflation. That's what it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm reading the tea leaves here.
Yeah, no,
so.
I hear you. There was just a basking shark sighting in the bay. I was
Maybe
wondering if it
that
was
one,
the
I don't
same
know.
one.
They look so cute.
Yeah, I remember one time I was sitting on the beach here in Provincetown and I saw a whale like
Ooh.
20 feet away, and I was like, "Oh my God, that is such a sign. That is so magical." And then a day later on the news, they were like, "Dead whale washes up on Long Point." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Maybe that is a
Aw.
sign."
Sometimes death is a new beginning.
Yes, that is very true.
Speaking of death,
Yeah, Target just
well, Target
announced-
sales are in the tank.
Yes, they just announced their first quarter sales, and I think they're down like 6 or 7%. Yes, a lot of people have been boycotting Target as of late because of their rollback of their DEI program, and I think it is another reminder, especially as we go into Pride season. So many different corporate organizations are pulling out funding for different prides. I think New York Pride just announced that they're $400,000 short of their
Oh, wow.
typical budgeting because like 5 or 6.
I am also
companies.
$400,000 short in my budget.
Same. Have because so many corporations have pulled out this year, and people are saying that it's because of political pressure from the right, rollbacks of DEI programs. And this is just a reminder that corporations only care about one thing, and that is making money. And if they can feel like they can make money by giving pride organizations money, they will. And if they feel like they'll make more money by not giving them money, they will. They don't actually care about any of it. They only care about making money.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. What else happened? Oh, do you have a news?
Oh, another little thing that I have this little book that I think it's still supposed to be mine from the library, but I'm sure they'll let me know. I keep my books for a really long time from the library. But on this day in 1844, it's like what happened in Cape Cod, like through history. So on this day in 1844, the author of the first medical biography, which is essentially like a medical history of one person through time.
Oh, wow.
In America, he died today.
Oh,
which is, you know,
a new beginning.
Right. Well, you know, but now like all medical history is dying with Robert Kennedy in charge of, you know, the Department of Health. So it's really quite a full circle moment for us here in America. But anyways, he was from Cape Cod, and that's what was on for today.
He was the doctor, not the person.
He was a doctor that wrote the first medical history in America.
Not about himself.
You know, I didn't actually go that far because it was not very interesting to me. Because
it wasn't a medical autobiography.
You didn't say autobiography.
Okay.
You're correct. But, you know, I just feel like I didn't know biographies were written by well people. I thought all biographies were people with like issues because like, how is it interesting if you're not struggling? You know what I mean? Like everyone's biography. Yeah. Anyways, also in Cape Cod history, it's my birthday today.
No way. Did I know? It's really your birthday?
Oh my God, if that's all I needed to do to get applause.
Happy birthday.
It's my birthday. Of course I am. She's like, yes, you
Scary.
are. I am a Gemini. Are you a Gemini?
No, I'm a Libra.
Oh, I love Libras. Libras are my favorite. What's your birthday?
October 21st.
Oh shit, you're a late Libra though.
Yeah, almost on Scorpio. We were talking about it today. And I'm also, I can't remember what it's called if there's an astrologer watching. It's when you have like 3 or more signs in the same house.
Called Get On Those Meds.
Yeah, and it's Scorpio, so you're really good at those
really?
meds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I've never felt Scorpio energy from you, but we've only sat together for hours.
That's
here and
true.
there.
That's true. That's true. But one last thing, I guess, before we go to a video. Yesterday, like I said, my parents came in town. This weekend is their 40th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary. I know I spoke a few weeks ago about my mother retiring, and I called her the next week, and she's like, well, I start my new job tomorrow. I was like, well, that lasted a few minutes.
Where is she working?
She's going to be working from home. So
Okay.
she's just like a part-time thing.
Situation,
Just doing the same work she just retired from, but from home.
Nice.
And you're liking it. Yeah. She said she's finding it difficult to be home and work, though.
I have a question. So my parents have been married for a very long time as well. And I feel like it gives me a unreasonable example in the world because it's not really the norm.
True.
Do you feel the same? Like I expect a lot from people. I'm like, so we're exclusive tonight and I'm just meeting you.
No, right. Yeah.
What do you feel?
I don't know.
That's a big question. So.
Yeah. Also like to talk about it while they're right there.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, they're not listening. Perfect.
They're not. They're literally not.
Yeah. No, I mean, watching anyone be together in a relation for so long, you learn how to compromise and make things work. And like sometimes things are tough, you know? But
compromise.
Yeah.
What's
but I think
that?
Who's she?
Who is she?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We did go to a restaurant last night, and I'm not gonna name the restaurant.
compromise.
But it was a restaurant I hadn't gone to in a very long time because I got very bad service. And I'm not one of those people where like I'm mad about bad service, but I'm just like, it's just a lot of money to not have a good experience.
It was so nice seeing you at my restaurant last night.
Yeah, no, it was not. And then I went back last night and it was not great again.
Aww.
And I feel like I feel like having been in Provincetown for 10 years and eating out as often as I do, I feel like this expectation and standard has gone down so much. Does anyone else agree?
I'm too close to the issue at hand.
I guess I since I left the biz.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I listen, like I respond to my tables. If they want to chat with me, I'll ham it up. but most of the time I feel like people want to just chat with themselves.
Oh yeah, I don't want to chat. I just
Yeah.
want to, if
Check in a little
if
bit
someone
more.
orders a beer, it
Yeah.
shouldn't take 25
Right.
minutes.
I do make sure I come to the table and very quickly. Do you need anything? Great. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
just be present.
Yeah.
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 Around.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. That's my rant for the night.
oh, they're texting you.
Stellium is what it's called when 3 or more of your signs. We did have an astrologer watching,
Is
KT.
Oh, KT.
Yeah.
Thank you, KT.
Yeah. If you haven't checked out KT's party, she does a party with Mackenzie called Astroglide at
Is
the
that every
Gifford
week?
House. No, not every week.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how often it's happening,
I
but if
love
you're,
the
it's very
name.
fun. Every month, perfect.
Stay tuned to the roundup.
Oh, great.
Got it.
Yeah, let's go to the roundup. Let's head over to Sam with the weekly roundup. It's the first really huge weekend, and I know there's so much going on.
Here's what's happening.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up Weekly Roundup with me, Sam Sewell, for the week of May 23rd through May 29th. It is wet and wild out there for Memorial Day weekend, and you know why. Because the nor'easter is coming through, but also because it is Mem Day weekend, and you can get the full lineup for all the Sapphic events at lesbiannightlife.com happening this weekend, and also you can go to sapphicnights.com for a lineup of even more events. It is a Sapphic takeover of town. Welcome queer women folks. Also at Water's Edge Cinema, individual tickets and six-pack tickets are on sale for the general public for the 27th annual Provincetown International Film Festival. You can pick your tickets up at the cinema and or get them online, where you can also buy tickets to Mission Impossible or Friendship, showing now at Water's Edge Cinema. Also, later on tonight at the 411 Gallery, they'll be having an opening from 7 to 9 p.m. with works by 20 local artists to kick off their 15th season. Congratulations. And Vibe Check podcast is happening today at Falk from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Have so much fun. I will not be able to make it, though I would really like to, but I'm preparing for my number in the Foxy Variety Hour happening at 7:30 p.m. hosted by Kristen Becker at the Crown and Anchor. And later on tonight, back with the Sapphic Fantasy Party at the Boat Slip from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. I hope it's not too wet and wild out there for you tonight with this storm. Anyway, moving on, Saturday at Water's Edge Cinema, Mid-Century Modern is having a showing of 2 episodes at 11 a.m. These are free, so go and reserve your tickets now at ptownfilm.org. And then also Dyke Drag Brunch is happening at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. by Dykes for Dykes at the Crown and Anchor. And at 2 p.m. you can stop by and try and see if you can dunk me, because I'll be in the Dyke Dock Dunk Tank happening from 2 to 5 over at the Crown and Anchor. And later that night, I saw this on the calendar and I had to put it in. The Clamshell Cabaret is happening over at the Gifford House. So go and check that out. And later on, you can check out Lisa Fisher and the Grand Baton at Provincetown Town Hall from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on Sunday, you can catch Roz Hernandez from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Red Room. And on Monday, Trivia is back in town. Congratulations. Can't wait to see you, Evan and Harrison. You can check them out at 7 p.m. at the Provincetown Brewing Company at the Crown and Anchor. And it's a wake up night, because then later on you can catch Good Night in Provincetown with Bob Curie. Bob is back on the night stage, and the show is at 10 p.m. at the post office. Tuesday brings us Trish Bingo. Welcome back, Trish Squared, happening at 5 p.m. over at the Gifford House. Then on Thursday, the Cape Noir Radio Theater Live will be at the Provincetown Public Library at 6:30 p.m. doing a live recording. You're going to want to catch that. And upcoming, we have so much, y'all, so I'm going to run through this very quickly. Time Share is happening June 1st over at the Provincetown Theater. This is going to be a really great event. Go and check that out. And if you are a thespian like-minded person like myself, you can catch me and a group of Provincetown locals reading Special on June 6th. And then on June 8th, World Ocean Day. Keep that in your calendars, because that will be happening at Payomet from 5 to 7, a free event. And the Ruthie's Boutique Fundraiser Fashion Show is happening June 9th at 5:30 p.m. Also, mark your calendars, because the Dive-In is upcoming in June. Crown and Anchor will be showing some movies in collaboration with Water's Edge Cinema. Speaking of Water's Edge Cinema, the prom is happening for the Provincetown Film Society, and you are cordially invited, so go check out ptownfilm.org to get tickets on that, happening during the film festival June 11th through the 15th. And Dragalicious Karaoke will be kicking off 6 nights a week starting on the 15th of June. As always, if you'd like to see any of your events up here, please email me at wakeuproundup@gmail.com. Happy end of May, everyone, although I know it does feel like winter out there. Bundle up and we'll get through it, and I'll see you in June.
Thank you, Sam. Please welcome Dennis Minsky and William Mullin from the Provincetown Conservation Trust.
Hi, thank
I have a
you.
question.
Welcome. Thanks.
How do you conserve trust?
You can
It's a
serve
real
trust.
struggle for
We're
me.
back
It
talking
takes-
about Brent's
It,
relationship.
it takes a long time
Okay.
to really conserve that trust.
It does.
You want to just lock that trust away
Yeah.
and save it for a rainy day.
Got it. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get other people to trust me.
Yeah.
You know, this might be the opportunity to educate people one more time. The Provincetown Conservation Trust, of which William is president, is a private nonprofit group.
Yes, it is
Composed
not
of volunteers.
associated with the town. We
It is
work
a-
with the town.
It is not the Conservation Commission, which is the town regulatory board, and it is not the town Open Space Committee, which is a land acquisition body. This is private, sort of like the Nature Conservancy on a local level.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
So how do you get most of your funds?
by
Good question.
we apply to a lot of grants, and
Uh-huh.
we also have donors,
Mhm.
individual donors. We're kind of like at a lesser scale, the stewards of the land, whereas coastal studies are stewards of the sea and the ocean.
Okay.
So we're like that nature organization for the land.
Mhm.
And before I forget, happy World Turtle Day.
It's Turtle Day.
Today is World Turtle Day. And a lot of people don't know, but in Provincetown, we have a special turtle. It's the eastern box turtle.
Ooh.
And it is a species of special concern, which means it's getting toward a threatened species. And it is in abundance along the Old Colony nature pathway.
Does it live in those marshes in there? Or
No, it's actually dry. It lives on dry. It's a turtle that likes dry, sandy areas.
Wow.
And so you'll probably see one, especially during this time of year, walking through what we call the Provincetown Greenway, which the Old Colony Nature Pathway intersects. And they are threatened. And what we do, one of our missions at the PCT, is to expand that habitat and protect and preserve it so that these creatures, these endangered creatures, can survive. And also, we all love our nature walks, right? And Dennis can tell you, because he's a much more experienced birder than I am. During this time of year, Provincetown has this very, very kind of silent theme week, and it's the Migratory Bird Week. And not a lot of people know this, but
how can that be
hundreds-
silent? There's so many birds.
I know, but the birders are quiet. And if you try to talk to them, they're like, shh. And they usually like to be solitary. So we have hundreds of eco-tourists come into Provincetown because we are the center of the Atlantic Flyway, where all these migratory birds are on their way to the boreal
On the Gulf
forests.
Stream, right?
Right up to Canada. And so they stop by, and a lot of the birds are crazy looking. I like to think they stop in Provincetown because a lot of the male birds look like drag queens.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I love that.
They're little jewels with wings, is what they
Yeah.
are.
Tell us about this upcoming project you have.
Yes. So we don't get a lot of these, but the PCT has a project, and it's a campaign. It's called the Josephine Del Deo Memorial Woodland Campaign. And what we're doing is partnering with the town to raise funds to purchase a small parcel along that greenway that I just talked about, and dedicate it to Josephine Del Deo, who is, if many of you don't know, very instrumental in the late 50s, early 60s in protecting the national seashore. Without her, we would be looking at hotels, golf courses, even there was talk about casinos. Yeah, just picture like someone's name on the side of these things.
Somewhat.
Someone's name.
He must not be.
But she fought the development of the province lands And she's an unsung hero. So we want to dedicate this to her and spread the word about the importance of her fight to Provincetown. And Dennis actually knew Josephine. You want to talk a little bit
Do you have a
about?
particular story of like when she was being so active for the natural rights?
Well, William mentions the National Seashore. Yeah, there were plans for a heliport out on Long Point, a Radisson or something out there.
But did she ever do anything like kind of, like protest in a certain way?
Sure. I mean, she was a classy lady, so she didn't lie down in front of traffic or anything. But what Sal, her husband Sal, who will be 97 on August 12th, says she wrote thousands of letters, and her son Romulo said that she knocked on every door in town, and she spoke forever and ever at every meeting. And it's not only the land conservation, but when you walk into the library, which was the Heritage Museum, that was on the auction block. And she saved that for the town. That could have been the condos.
Barking can change the world.
Yes.
She also started the first ACLU chapter in Provincetown. They had Nina Simone, Sal and her had Nina Simone, and a lot of other activists here. She started a food co-op. We used to have a symphony in Provincetown Symphony.
Because of her.
So she's gonna get a statue in the new piece of land, right? In the
probably
middle.
not a statue. But we do want to dedicate it. And you'll probably see these little brochures appearing at places around town. And it tells you a little bit about the history. There's a picture of her actually at town hall fighting plans that developers were proposing.
That's cool.
And she actually went down to DC, testified before Congress, and ended up convincing President Kennedy to protect the seashore. So she indirectly she was kick ass. So she indirectly was responsible for the National Seashore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can people support this project?
You can go online to ptownconservation.org/Del Woodland, or just go to provincetownconservationtrust.org. You'll see that there. And you could get involved to volunteer. We're going to have some events during the summer, some fundraising events. We're going to have some walks. We're always open to volunteers. But also, if you can't volunteer, any amount helps. So there's a donation page there, and all your donations are tax deductible because we are a nonprofit organization.
Awesome. What does this parcel of land and the Greenway as a whole kind of like mean for our community?
Well, in the summer, it's such an important respite for people to just take a break. And
people keep their dogs on leashes out there.
Yes. And if people pick up after their dogs on the Greenway.
The woods doesn't mean you.
Yeah, it is a very popular dog walking route, but also in the summer, it's a nice shaded canopy. So instead of just seeking respite in the National Seashore, which is a lot of dunes and beaches and the sun's coming down, you can walk through the Old Colony Nature Pathway and you see everything: coyotes, foxes, turtles, and especially this time of year, the migratory birds and some of the birds that stay here year round. We have a ton of warblers that are still in their drag because they don't want to leave P-Town. They're like, we're welcomed here. Right. And so that's what's really important. And we have the species of special concern there. Am I missing anything?
No, it's 10 minutes from Commercial Street, and you walk from one kind of environment to another. And I think it's good for our sanity. It's good for our souls.
I also think it's very important, especially as we're a tourist community, but as things get more and more expensive, investing money in the things that people can come to town and really have an amazing magical experience that doesn't cost money.
For free.
is
Yeah.
very.
And speaking of which, the PCT, all of our nature walks and nature talks are free. And we have a nature talk coming up on June 5th at 5:30 p.m. at the Provincetown Library about bird flu.
Ooh.
So this winter, a lot of people walking along the beach have seen like dead birds, and they're questioning, oh my God, what is bird flu? How prevalent is it? We have Dr. Wendy Perrier coming. She's an expert from Tufts University to debunk some of the myths and get the facts straight at our talk at the Provincetown Library. And you can just show up, and it's free of charge.
You can bring the dead birds and they'll.
You can, yeah, and they can analyze. Yes.
No, don't
drop-off.
touch.
Don't touch them.
Thank you both so much for coming in. This is a really incredible project. If you can, please go to provincetownconservationtrust.org
Yes.
and make a donation. Any amount helps.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna head over to a clip from Spookey. He's up next to interview, but this is a little clip from his show. Wow, that was a photo finish.
Woo!
We made
But you're used to that.
Please welcome Spookey to Wake Up. This is the first time you've interviewed, right? Usually
Yeah.
You're hanging from the ceiling or
She doesn't
Yeah.
do interviews.
Not like
Yeah.
suicidally.
No. Sexually,
Yes.
So how many years of Helltown Burlesque is this?
This will be our third season.
Incredible. But you've been performing in Provincetown for what, 10 years?
Oh God. Since 2018.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
came with a space show?
Yeah, Star Boys.
Star Boys.
What was that?
It was a Star Wars themed burlesque show at the Crown and Anchor.
Did you do Yoda?
No, but I was the size of Yoda.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Which character did you do?
I was a stormtrooper at one point.
Uh-huh.
I think there was like Princess Leia in there. It was very science fiction-y more than we had a bark. What did you call it? Barking?
Barking, but they called it Brandon Bass.
Brandon Bassett in a
Ambassador.
jock strap and like
Oh,
a stormtrooper hat.
Uh-huh.
So
So you've had your own show, Helltown Burlesque, for 3 years now. It is at the post office. I think what I love so much about the show is you're so open to bringing in performers, whether they be performers that have been doing it forever or people who really want to get into it. And we've seen so many people kind of grow into burlesque performers through the opportunities that you've given them.
oh, thank you.
Tell us a little about the crew that you have as part of Helltown Burlesque.
Sure, I have an awesome crew every year, but this year we're expanding
I'm missing.
into we're doing select Mondays will be amateur burlesque night.
Nice.
So
What nights a week are you doing it?
We're Helltown Burlesque is every Saturday.
Got it.
We started the beginning of May and we go till November. But
Cool.
the amateur burlesque hour will be June through September, select
Cool.
Mondays.
Wow.
And it's pretty much an open stage, but burlesque themed.
Mhm.
And it's kind of my way of like saying, like, I want the town or, tourists to try burlesque. It's a very safe space to, try dip your toe
Try
in
it out.
burlesque.
Well, tell everyone what burlesque is, because I know
Sure.
people sometimes don't get it, sometimes have a different understanding of what it is. What does it mean to you?
Sure. Burlesque is the art of tease. We one of my biggest things with Star Boys was we got completely naked, which is fun. Don't get me wrong.
But not
supposed
much
to
of
be
a
the
tease.
idea.
But not, yeah, you're giving it all away. So now, like Helltown Burlesque, it's and especially at the post office, we're not allowed to get naked. So we get down to the very bare minimum. You see my butt.
How are you not
It's
allowed
like-
to be naked? Is there a certain?
I think there's like a
License?
morality clause of
Okay.
some sort.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Puritan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, when you say down to nothing, it's like some double stick tape and
Yeah,
a
well,
little something.
we have a cod piece.
Right.
I call it a Cape Cod piece.
Well, the word is related. to-
Right?
I've forgotten why, but
Fish?
well, yeah, because the word in some language meant like sack, or something. I
Well, it
don't
covers
know.
mine.
Good. Or not good.
Tell us, you have a lot of performers that are kind of been around town in your show. Who are you going to have in it this season?
Yeah, well, someone mentioned Gina Carmela. That's a fan favorite. This weekend, Saturday, we have hosting it is a
Me.
woman named Carlos. One day, if you want.
Okay. He said it on camera.
Yeah. We have a woman named Carlos hosting. Their show just opened last night at the post office.
Oh, awesome.
And also we have the Duchess of Sandwich, who also owns Pop and Dutch. And
The sandwich shop.
yeah. And also Hillary Tamar is going to sing. And we have a wonderful puppy named Whatchamacallit. That's his actual name, Whatchamacallit.
Okay.
And he will also do an act.
Oh, amazing.
One thing that
What is
I
a puppy?
A puppy is the kitten. So if you don't know burlesque, they clean up our stripper droppings because we take our clothes off, and they're actually a stagehand. They set up like my hoop and everything.
and the strippers just shit everywhere.
Everywhere, glitter everywhere, and rhinestones. You should see my floor.
Speaking of that, though, one thing that I admire about you is that you just like you sell it, like you sell out. You are very work oriented when you're trying to sell those tickets, and it's admirable because I get tired of that. And
Hustle, hustle.
I wish I could do
And
that.
you just like keep going, and it's an amazing show.
Thank you so much. We're actually also expanding. Sam is in charge of starting in June, we're going to do live streaming. So for $10, you'll be able to buy a ticket and
that's
see us
great.
live.
Oh, that's smart.
So
And
anyone
it'll
who's,
be on the stage at some point.
and I'm going to get Sam on stage.
Who would you encourage to take part in your amateur burlesque night?
I
Ooh.
think there's so many people in town that have said, I want to do your show, but I'm terrified of doing burlesque. And so I want to give them a safe space where they can at least try it and say, hey, I love it or I hate it.
So there's no big hook, there's no gong,
No.
there's no two drunk drag queens
No.
making fun of you.
No, and it's going to be paid, and you'll still win a prize.
I love that. So go to the postofficecafe.com.
Net, I think.
Net. Okay.
Almost.
Or stop by. They have a really great box office there. Grab tickets to Helltown Burlesque this Saturday is the first one.
We've been going, but this
Oh.
Saturday we have a Memorial Day weekend.
Amazing.
Cool.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Spooky.
Thank you guys for having me.
Let's head over to Sean with the weather.
Good morning, Provincetown. We're waking up after a wild and stormy night. A classic late-season nor'easter came ashore yesterday and raged through the night, battering the shoreline. Winds were fierce enough to rip boats from their moorings, and with gusts hitting over 50 miles an hour, vessels are now scattered up and down the beach. My house here on the water was shaken, and debris and tree limbs are down all over town. Take a look at this footage of the wind pattern that passed overhead. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it looks like a hurricane. But it's Memorial Day weekend, the official start of summer, so let's take a look at your weekend forecast as town cleans up and dries off. Today starts windy and cool with a few lingering showers and a high around 56. We might see the sun. Saturday remains breezy and mostly cloudy with a chance of a passing shower and highs near 59. Sunday brings a break in the clouds with partly sunny skies and a high around 60. Memorial Day Monday is looking beautiful, mostly sunny and 61, perfect for your fierce beach day or a stroll around town. Tuesday warms up to 68 with sun and clouds, and Wednesday rounds it out near 69. So hang in there. Sunshine's coming just in time for the holiday. Low tides will hit in the early mornings and late evenings, so if you're out exploring after dark, you should be good to go. And for all you dog walkers, pre-sunset strolls will be ideal. This is a big weekend in town with every venue buzzing. A warm welcome to all our visiting ladies. We love having you here. Things kick off this afternoon with dog tag tea at the boat slip, followed by the Sapphic Fantasy Party at 9 p.m. Saturday is regular tea starting at 4 and the Sapphic Enchantment Party at 10. Then it's solid gold tea on Sunday and the debut of I Love the 90s Tea Dance Diva Edition on Monday. The Bowie Bar is open all weekend. Come see Andrew and Suzanne and try one of Andrew's dangerously addictive frozen Liberty limoncellos. That's it for me. Say a little sun prayer. It might just work. For those of you in town, I'll see you at tea. Guys, back to you at the Commons.
Thank you so much, Sean. We will see you at tea this weekend. Please welcome Ellen and Lara from Payomet. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So you're kicking off your summer programming
Yes, tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
Ooh.
Is that going to be at Payomet or here
Nope,
in town?
here in Provincetown. Lisa Fisher at Town Hall.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing.
She's the backup singer for the Rolling Stone who made it to the front with 20 Feet from Stardom.
Oh, nice.
She's a headliner now.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Tell us a little about some of the programming that you're really excited for this summer.
Well, I'll start up at the tent in North Truro. That's where we do a lot of our stuff in the summer. I'm really excited for Galactic. They're in New Orleans, like funk forward, brassy jam band. It's gonna be really fun. Lots of dancing.
Oh, amazing.
How do you decide who you book usually? Like, what's your process there?
We're a small team, so we all provide input.
We have a person that we hire who does some of the booking. She has big relationships, and our executive director does that as well. But we get to pitch in.
And most of your performances happen at that venue, and it's an outdoor venue, or you said it's a tent?
We are, yeah.
It is a tent. We're located in North Truro, and the tent goes up and it comes down. So we're seasonal in Truro, but then we present programming all over Cape Cod year round, and we're in Provincetown a lot.
Awesome.
The Provincetown Town Hall shows are kind of a newer thing. It's only been a couple of years where you've been really focused on that.
We've been focused on it for a while, but people are just starting to pay attention because we're bringing in names like Sandra Bernhardt and Paula Poundstone. Tig Notaro's coming.
Yeah.
So I think as the names get bigger, people are like, wow. But we've been doing this for quite some time.
Are you also a nonprofit?
Yes, we are. Do you have any money?
No.
I thought you got.
So like it's a nonprofit arts and entertainment organization is what
It's
you
a
call it.
performing arts center.
Performing arts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little about how it kind of, how long it's been happening, how it got started.
I have a T-shirt that says 25 years, and I think it's 2 years old. So we're about 27 years
I
old.
love that match.
I'm good at that. We used to be actually on the berm on the side of Route 6, and then our executive director brought us inside the National Seashore.
Nice.
So they are our landlords. And I just want to plug the tent because I know everybody loves to just walk to Town Hall, and it's a great venue.
Totally.
But the tent is under the stars by the ocean. It is true Cape Cod.
Yeah.
So I dare everyone who hasn't been to try it once because then y'all will be back.
What's the seating capacity?
There's a number that I don't like to say out loud,
Sorry.
but it's okay because we're in a tent, so we can for the whalers, which is sold out, we can clear the chairs and have a dance area, and then we have risers. For a big show like Graham Nash, which is sold out, we have the option, if the seashore allows, to put 10 seats outside, like at Tanglewood, Rain or Shine.
Amazing.
So we can expand. And we have these really cool shows, small emerging artists, like, I don't know if you've heard of Rhiannon Giddens, who...
Rihanna?
Yeah, Rhiannon.
Oh.
Well, she used to come to us in the tent with the Carolina chocolate drops, and now she is larger than life, and we can't even bring her in anymore. So for $20, $30, you can see the next Rhiannon Giddens. So it could be tables and chairs like a club.
But is it larger than the town hall, or is town hall?
It's about the same
Same
size,
size.
but it feels much more intimate.
Yeah.
Much more intimate.
How did the partnership with the National Seashore happen? Because there's not any other organizations that operate on the National Seashore, right?
Actually, there used to be some, but they seem to have peeled away. Castle Hill used to have a wood burning kiln there. Coastal Studies has been in and out of there. It started when the seashore. It was a
Decommissioned Air Force Base.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
That the National
seashore
Seashore acquired.
inherited, and they didn't know what to do with it. They did this huge study to make it an arts and science place,
Nice.
and then nothing stuck. And I don't know if you know, there were all these buildings. They raised a lot of money and tore them all down
But
recently.
there's so much hope to use it in the coming years.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Pickleball, pet sitting. I don't know. Yay! Our executive director keeps saying, "Yeah, we could have this over here, that over there," but for now we got a tent.
But that's amazing. I mean, any way to bring incredible art to the Outer Cape is
I
amazing.
do want to plug that we also have this amazing other avenue called the circus. We have a social circus. Every year it's built by our circus performers who also have a 9-week circus camp. It's incredible. The kids that come every single year. It builds self-esteem, cooperation. There's a show at the end of 4 days. The parents come, I go and cry. It's gorgeous. But the circus itself has a social circus, no animals, but it always has this year is about pollinators. What's the buzz? And
I love that.
right? So every year, one time it was gender identity, polluting the water. It's always social. And we've moved our circus camp and our circus to the grounds of Wellesley Harbor Actors Theater.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, Sam.
What is a circus camp? I can't imagine what a circus camp is, but
It's the circus.
Yeah. juggling,
Tell all the things.
trapeze.
There's a lyra, which is that round
That's what Spookey
implement.
does.
There are silks. They do a lot of tumbling, a lot of cartwheels,
Juggling.
and
Improv. Justin puts improv into it.
Do
yeah.
the people who go have to show a certain level of skill set or any?
Nope, they start at 7 and there's all kinds of levels. And some of the students become CITs.
Wow.
And it's a 4-day camp. And like I said, if anybody comes, their child performs, they put together their own circus on the Thursday afternoon. And whenever we have donors or sponsors, I go there and it's magical. Super.
So how can people see the whole season and buy tickets for things?
We have a rack card that we always have at the chamber, and we always beg all the restaurants and hotels to put in their lobby or payomet.org.
And who has the lowest ticket sales so far?
Yeah, never say. But I will remind people, the big shows sell out. The Whalers is sold out. Tignataro, there's still tickets for 9:30. 7 is sold out. Graham Nash is sold out. But what isn't sold out are the emerging artists that are traveling this country. And 4 years from now, they win a Grammy, and then we can't bring them back. So investigate, try something new, and see the next Grammy.
Some of my proudest achievements have been seeing people with 10 people.
They're going to
at
say
a club.
winning a Grammy.
Yes.
There's
we
some
signed
artists
up
that
on
I've seen like with 10 other people at a nightclub that are now winning Grammys, and
Absolutely.
it's a flex, you know.
It's wild. The trajectory can be pretty fast too. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for creating all this amazing art on the Outer Cape.
Thank you for this.
Thank
This was great.
you.
Thank you.
We have a short video from the Commons now.
Disappearing, this moment's never leaving. I can feel it, I can feel it. You got me started, nothing other can stop it. It's crazy, I'm falling, I don't know what else to call it. Oh, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Ooh, dancing together.
Thank you so much, Commons. Please welcome the boys. We've had all these people on Wake Up so many times. We're usually terrorizing Chris and Chris in the brewery for the past 5 years, or terrorizing Jonathan, who used to run tech for the show.
They were there at 9 a.m.
No, that's but there's been some big changes over at the brewery and the Crown, and we're here to celebrate them today because it's getting going. Tell us a little about it.
Yeah, we've been it's been kind of in the works for the last 6 months. We're really excited to finally take over and partner with the Crown Anchor and take over their restaurant and the courtyard area, and kind of bring our two brands, which we've always been really closely associated and work together well. So it's really exciting to kind of have a new space, for like version 2.0 of Provincetown Brewing Company.
It's opening tonight, right?
Tonight. Yes, that's bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tonight or lunch?
Tonight. 5.
Oh, no, please.
5. Yeah, no, give us a minute, please.
Absolutely not.
No,
It's
yeah,
like, no,
no.
5 p.m. and we're doing
Yeah.
an opening night coronation. So there's going to be a bunch of performances. James Stern's going to DJ. It's going to be like a homecoming.
That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, we're so excited to have them there. Obviously, since even before taking over the Crown, the brewery was such like a beacon within our community, and so much of our mission came from the mission that they were already, fulfilling. And so to be able to bring them over to the restaurant, the Queer Garden, which is what we're renaming the courtyard.
We can't wait to activate the space and make it as gay as humanly possible.
Get ready for AstroTurf and cornhole
Cornhole and shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard.
Yeah.
The crown has never.
Will we see some of the same pieces that were in
Absolutely, and then some new ones. We were lucky enough. We went to Broomfield last week, and we found some really stunners. So
So the space is still gonna have that kind of like clubhouse.
yeah, I think Jonathan called it P-Town's Coyote Ugly. I think it's more P-Town's House of Blues.
I'm so sorry, I'm about to take my top off.
Fine, we'll dance on the bar.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then we kept all the favorites like the Smurf bathroom.
Yeah.
Josh came back and did bottoms up, so we've got all the butts
Oh,
back up on the
amazing.
butt
I
wall.
love that.
It
Yeah.
feels very familiar, just bigger and
Yeah.
Yeah, better. Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
You're keeping some of the best programming as well, right?
Absolutely. I think the keystone to R is trivia. So Monday.
So trivia is back this coming Monday. Me and Evan are gonna be hosting at 7:00 this Monday at the brewery.
Nice.
And we're keeping John Richardson for piano bar Friday and Saturday nights. We are keeping the kitchen open later until 11. So
11 every night.
so
11
food
every night.
every night, so that people will be able to get, have food, enjoy it.
What's
And,
the menu going to be like? Very
it's
similar?
similar. It's
It's like
lot-
elevated,
It's
casual bar
elevated.
food.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Christina is our chef. She's absolutely
She's our
incredible.
sous chef
Sous
last
chef
year.
left, yeah.
All I'll say is that there is a bucket of corn dogs.
I was gonna say Evan corn dog.
And
Yeah,
the
there's
corn
a
dogs
bucket
called
of
corn dogs.
And my wet trash dreams of
Yeah.
As a lady of the street,
Yes.
people have been asking or talking. So there's the bar on the patio, and then there's the internal restaurant. And people are like, "Well, are they operating both? Like, what's the deal?"
Yes.
what's
So
the
we're operating all of the
Okay.
Provincetown Brewing Company will be operating. I mean, with incredible staff of a lot of we're all under
We
the
are all
crown.
on one staff.
Yeah, we're all one staff,
Great.
but they're incredible staff. Is like so they'll people work.
And
in
what
other
logo
different-
will they have on their shirts when they come to your table?
When they come to the table, will be the Provincetown Brewing Company. Yes, but we're working on some collaboration.
I was like, wait, are there uniforms?
Yeah,
now?
no. Collab merch. Yeah.
Just show up whenever I was away.
Yeah. Yes, it's a casual environment no matter what. So,
Nice.
but we're going to keep the back area. We've got this incredible jukebox from like 1956. So we're keeping that area with the pool table. Going to call that the break room just to make it more of a loungy kind of place that you can kind of close the doors and just hang out with your friends. And then the front is going to be the tap room, which is going to be a little bit more ruckus with drag queens and more performers. And then the queer garden will be really about games and activations and enjoying the outside.
It's such a beautiful space that I felt like hasn't been activated to its capacity in the last few summers. And so to be able to bring them in and make that space as lively as it can be is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we've also reoriented the stage in the center of the room
Ooh.
to throw all the focus there. It feels incredible to be up there.
Yeah.
And then where the stage used to be, we've built a new draft bar that will be just draft beer.
Oh, nice.
So starting tonight, you'll be able to get the Bearded Mistress back and the Golden Hook Ale.
I think we're
along
going to
with
have a busy night
a
tonight.
lot
Yeah.
of other
I'm sure.
specialties.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited.
I'm
Thanks.
too.
Thank
Wake
you.
Up is also going to be back there. We're going to let you get settled.
We're ready for you. Yeah.
And also, it's kind of a different environment for y'all because we were just doing beer
Mhm.
over at the brewing company at 141 Bradford, and now there's going to be
full bar, yes.
full
I think
cocktails.
Part
Yeah.
of like the hardest part of this merger was figuring out the right way to merge both
Mhm.
brands, and obviously staying true to what they have built and what they've created, and the fact that they are their own business
Mhm.
while still operating as the Crown.
Yeah.
And so
people love glasses of vodka.
Yes.
Full.
And so it was figuring out which liquor license to kind of maneuver. And so, operating under our liquor license made the most sense because now they get to have full alcohol, full liquor. But
Yes.
there also are some like beer inspired cocktails. Like
Yeah.
it's a,
Yeah.
we really
Is
try to
there a
merge.
cocktail list?
Yeah, Sean has
Yeah.
done an incredible
There's a
job.
Brewski's Punch.
Is there
There's
Wait, will
There's
Bruce
two.
be there?
He will be there often.
Yes.
We're working on Doghouse still. We're
Okay.
trying to bring that back. So
Yeah.
that'll be we're gonna do the queer garden like
Bruce,
book setting.
people are like, is he friendly? I'm like, he's friendly. He's not social though.
No.
He's not to be mean to you, but he does not. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Wake Up to be back there. As much as we're loving the Commons, it just will always feel like home.
Yeah, we're excited to have you back. So
So check out 5 o'clock. Y'all are opening.
yep, 5 o'clock and
7
then
o'clock and then drag brunch every Saturday and
Yep.
Sunday,
Yep.
11 and 1, and then open till 11 p.m. every night.
That's crazy. And trivia on Monday.
And trivia on
Monday.
Hi, Crystal and the Bart
Okay.
Weisman Trio on Tuesdays.
Oh, awesome.
Wednesdays, we're Marissa, Miller, and Yoli. We're starting a girl group. It's like Cheetah Girls 2.0. We need to talk. Thursday's going to be a really cool thing with Gentle Ben and Yaron, if you remember them from last year. And then Friday, Saturday will be John Richardson late night. But all throughout the day, because the stage and the space is so cool, we're going to have live performances and music.
Awesome. I also think it's a great opportunity to have like fun, quick, casual food until 11 o'clock at night.
Yes. And it's good. It's
Yeah,
really good. It's so good.
Really excited.
Yeah.
And then 8 o'clock on Sunday, we do the unveiling of the new bearded mistress can. So Trish Can gets debuted.
It's gonna be a mess.
It is.
The can is just leaking.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for coming in today. I got a list of things I forgot to mention. This is recycled beach trash art. There is an exhibit at the Commons happening right now. Stop by and check it out. This Sunday, May 25th, from 1 to 4, is Back to the Beach Summer fundraiser that supports
Our current location.
The comments.
Tonight, May 23rd, 5 to 7:30 is the Summer Salon Series. That's at Falk, right?
Fine arts. That's what that.
Yeah, Fine Arts Works there. And they're also doing a live recording of Vibe Check, which apparently is Priscilla's favorite podcast. One up. Very good. And last but not least, there's the plein air paint off at the Whalers Wharf next Saturday on May 31st from 10 to 1 p.m. And that is free.
How do you win at painting? I mean, my God.
I think it's just hanging out.
So it's painting. Everybody's gonna get to paint.
Everyone's
They have paint supplies. So
Okay.
it's a beach painting.
Oh,
cool.
Like everybody's gonna be beach.
Yeah, paint.
Thank you to all our guests today. Thank you for Brent for co-hosting with me today. A special thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, the Provincetown Brewing Company, the Provincetown Inn, the Boat Slip, PTV, the PVG, and Provincetown Tourism. We ran late again. That's fine. Thanks for waking up in Provincetown, wherever you are, and we'll see you next Friday.
Bye.
Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up.